Shambho Mahadeva Deva Shiva Sharanam Bhavam Anantananta Rupaya Namah Parvati Pataye. Some lives shine quietly, and some lives burn fiercely, and some become mirrors where the divine reveals himself. Tonight, we walk through the lives of three such souls: a king, a chieftain, and a simple fisherman, men whose devotion was so sincere, so steady, so pure that even Lord Shiva paused to walk beside them. Their stories are not about miracles. They are about the power of a heart that refuses to let go of the divine. Listen and let your heart remember what devotion can awaken within any one of us. Pugal Chola Nayanar was a king, but beneath the crown lived a man of deep humility and devotion. He ruled from Urayur in the Chola kingdom in India, a land where prosperity and dharma walked together, largely because its ruler walked with Lord Shiva in his heart. People admired him not only for his fairness and strength, but for a gentleness and inner glow that comes from remembering the divine in every moment. One year, when the time came to collect tribute from the smaller rulers, Pugal Chola Nayanar traveled to Karur in India. Everyone paid their dues except for one petty ruler named Adigan. As a guardian of justice, the king sent his forces to lay siege to Adigan's fort, not to display dominance, but to maintain balance and order. Around that same time, another event unfolded in the bustling streets of the kingdom, an event that revealed how fiercely the Lord protects those who love him. The king's royal elephant, adorned in ornaments, was making its way forward. Nearby walked a humble devotee carrying fresh bilva leaves for Lord Shiva's worship. The man stumbled, and the sacred leaves fell to the ground. Before anyone could react, the elephant stepped forward and crushed them. To most, it was an accident, but to Adipattha Nayanar, a fiery devotee whose heart blazed with loyalty, it felt like a wound to the sacred. The bilva leaves were not mere leaves, they were offerings, symbols of worship prepared with love. Without hesitation, he struck the royal elephant down. It was an act born from devotion, fierce and instinctive, and he was ready to face whatever consequences followed. News reached Pugal Chola Nayanar quickly. The death of a royal elephant could easily have become an issue of pride or punishment. But the king approached Adipattha calmly, wanting to understand the heart behind the act. When they met, Adipattha stood ready to accept death. But Pugal Chola Nayanar, looking into his eyes, saw devotion, raw, powerful, and unwavering. In that moment, both men bowed inwardly to each other. A sacred silence filled the space between them, and into that silence the divine stepped. Lord Shiva revealed his grace to both devout men, making them see that devotion, whether gentle or fierce, is accepted by him when it comes from a sincere heart. A clash dissolved into a blessing. Even conflict transformed into a doorway where the Lord's presence could be felt. Meanwhile, the siege on Adigan fort ended. The soldiers broke through the gates, many died, and the petty ruler fled. The warriors returned with spoils of war and severed heads from the battlefield, placing them at the king's feet. As Pugal Chola Nayanar surveyed them, his eyes fell on one head unlike the others, and this one head carried a sacred braid, unmistakably the sign of a Shiva Bhakta devotee. A tremor went through him. Though he had not intended harm to a devotee, the sin had taken place under his authority. For a heart anchored in devotion, this truth was unbearable. His grief was instant and deep, and without delay he ordered a grand sacrificial fire to be prepared. When the flames rose high, the king lifted the sacred head on a golden plate, and chanting Om Namah Shivaya, he walked around the fire again and again, each step an act of repentance, and each chant a surrender. Then, holding the sacred head close, he stepped into the flames. His body disappeared, but his soul soared into the eternal light of Lord Shiva. His end was not death, it was union. In another sacred town in India lived Narasinga Muniyaraiyar, a chieftain of small land and vast devotion. His heart was filled with warmth and compassion, especially towards Lord Shiva's devotees. To him, each bhakta was a living temple deserving of honor and care. Every year, he celebrated the holy festival of Tiruvadirai with immense devotion. The Tiruvadirai festival is the sacred day when Lord Shiva is believed to perform his Ananda Tandava, the cosmic dance of bliss as Lord Nataraja. It is a day when creation, preservation, and dissolution are all set to move in harmony with the Lord's rhythm. Devotees feel closer to him on this day, and prayers rise more easily and the heart becomes softer. On this holy day, Narasinga Muniyaraiyar prepared a grand feast. Anyone who came, children, elders, mendicants, travelers, was welcomed with equal reverence. He fed each devotee lovingly and gifted each one of them 100 gold coins. His love saw no caste, no status, no costume, only the presence of the divine. On one Tiruvadirai, the devotee arrived smeared completely in sacred ash, naked, carrying nothing but the radiance of renunciation. Many shrank back, some whispered in discomfort, but Narasinga Muniyaraiyar saw only Lord Shiva's ash, Lord Shiva's presence, and Lord Shiva's devotee. With reverence in his eyes, he bowed at the man's feet, welcomed him warmly, fed him generously, and instead of 100 gold coins, offered him 200. That simple act, the gentle, sincere, without hesitation, touched the heart of Lord Shiva. For devotion is never measured by ritual or learning, but by how deeply we honor those who carry his name in their hearts. Along the coastal shores of India lived another devotee, the Adipattha Nayanar, a fisherman whose worship was simple but steady. Each day, after gathering his catch, he released one fish back into the sea for Lord Shiva. That small act was his daily offering, his vow, his prayer. The Lord wanted the world to see the greatness hidden in this humble devotee. For many days, Adipattha caught only one fish, and every day he released it, returning home hungry but never breaking his vow. His devotion was not based on convenience or comfort. Then came the morning when he pulled in his net and found a single golden fish. It shimmered like a divine jewel. Anyone else would have rejoiced or sold it for wealth. Adipattha simply smiled. He lifted the golden fish gently, whispered his offering to Lord Shiva, and released it into the water. That one act shook the heavens. The Lord appeared before the fisherman and blessed him with eternal grace. Knowledge, power, study, none of these brought the Lord close. Only his unwavering faith did. And so, these three lives, three paths, flow like sacred rivers toward the same ocean. A king whose remorse burned brighter than fire. A chieftain whose compassion saw God in everyone. And a fisherman whose vow outweighed hunger. Each found the Lord. Each was lifted by him. Each reached his eternal grace. Their lives whisper a truth that the world often forgets. Lord Shiva does not ask for perfection. He asks for sincerity. He asks for a heart that remembers Him. When devotion is real, when surrender is true, Mahadev himself begins to walk toward the devotee. And in that sacred meeting, we discover something astonishing, that the divine we searched for in temples, rituals, and distant heavens was never far at all. He was waiting right behind the door of our own heart, a door that opens with just a single whisper. May Jagatpita Mahadev bless us all. Keep seeking, keep chanting, keep surrendering. Om Namah Shivaya.